Здравствуйте. Hello and welcome to Russian language class. Before moving on, let's have a quick recap of the previous lesson. So, if you remember, in the previous lesson we had discussed about the declension of singular nouns masculine, feminine and neuter in the instrumental case. So, how do we decline the singular number nouns in the instrumental case? S kim vi razgovaриваете по телефону? S kim vi razgovaриваете по телефону? So, with whom are you having a talk on the phone? And the answer I have written here is s drugom or s prepodavatelем. So, I am talking to a friend or a teacher. So, drug has become drugam. So, we have added O and M at the end to decline drug in the instrumental case. Similarly, with prepodavachal we have added not om but yem. So, with masculine nouns there are two endings in the instrumental case, om or yem. So, if a noun ends with a soft consonant we use yem, and if a noun ends with a hard consonant we use om. The next example I have written here is где находится университетская библиотека? So, where is the university library situated? And in the answer I have written рядом с лабораторией и рядом с комнатой. So, here as you can see laboratoria has become laboratoriei. So, here we are adding ye and e kratke, and komnata which ends with a, which is a hard vowel, takes o and e kratke at the end in the instrumental case. So, there are two endings in the feminine nouns, oi or yei. So, laboratoriei or komnatai. Apart from these two endings there is one more ending also. So, if a noun, if a feminine noun ends with a soft sign like Chitaraj, then we add a u which is a soft vowel at the end to get its instrumental case form. And neuter gender nouns, they decline in the same way as masculine nouns. So, this is about the declension of singular nouns in the instrumental case. So, now we will look at the topics that we will be doing today. Now, we are going to discuss the declension of personal pronouns in the instrumental case. So, I hope by now you already understand what are personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are ya, ty, on, ana, мы, вы, они. Ya, ty, on, ana, they are singular. Ya, first person, ty, second person, on, ana, third person, and мы, we and ani are plural. Мы belongs to first person, we second person and ani third person. So, what happens when we use these personal pronouns in the instrumental case? So, how do we change them? So, let us start. So, for this purpose I have written some examples and you have to find out the correct personal pronouns and the form of personal pronouns in the instrumental case. Это мой сосед, this is my neighbor, он хочет поговорить со мной. So, he wants to talk to me. So, here as you can see we have used the preposition sir, and I have told you that with preposition sir we use the instrumental case of a noun. So, here we are using the instrumental case of the personal pronoun ya, which is the first person. So, ya in the instrumental case changes to mnoi, ya mnoi. Это мой сосед, this is my neighbor, he wants to talk to me. Next example, завтра мы поедем в Агру. So, tomorrow we will be going to Agra. So, here I have used a verb of motion, поехать, which means to go on a transport. Мои друзья тоже хотят поехать с нами. My friends also want to go to Agra with us. So, here as you can see we are again using the preposition sir. So, again by the rule we are supposed to use the instrumental case of the pronoun which is this first person plural number mi. So, mi in the instrumental case changes to nami, mi nami. Zavtra mi pojedziemy w Agru, tomorrow we will be going to Agra, and my friends also wants to go to Agra with us, snami. The next is second person singular number, which is ti. So, how do we change ti in the instrumental case? Ti ujeżdżasz w Delhi. So, are you going to Delhi? Mój brat wstrzecie z tobą w uniwersytecie. My brother will meet you in the university. Again we are using the preposition sir. So, we will use the instrumental case of the pronoun ti. So, ti changes to taboi in the instrumental case. Ti taboi. So, second person singular number changes to taboi. For second person plural number, if we change the subject here from ti to we, so how will you ask this question? We ujeżdżacie w Delhi. So, are you going to Delhi? Mój brat wstrzecie z wami. So, we, which is the second person plural number, changes to wami. Mój brat wstrzecie z wami w uniwersytecie. So, my brother will meet you at the university. Now, let us come to the third person personal pronoun. Wychodzili na stadion z drugim. Wychodzili na stadion z drugim. Chodzić, as you already know, chodzić belongs to a verb of motion, which means to go or to come in different directions, or to go and to come. It is a multi-directional verb of motion. So, did you go to stadium with a friend? So, here we have used drug in the instrumental case. Why? Because it is being used with the preposition sir. How will you answer this question? If you have to use a personal pronoun in the answer. Da ya chodzil na stadion z nim. So, here for friend we are using a personal pronoun on, which changes into nim. So, on changes into nim if it is used with the preposition. So, here we are using the preposition sir, that is why it has become nim. Without preposition we will use im. So, there is an additional consonant if we are using this personal pronoun with a preposition. The next is again third person singular number ana, which stands for feminine gender. We wstrzecilis w stalowej sestroj. We wstrzecilis w stalowej sestroj. Did you meet in the canteen or mess with your sister? So, again you have to change sestroj by using a personal pronoun ana. So, how will you use that? Da я встретился в столовой с ней. Yes, I met her at the canteen or mess. So, da я встретился с ней. So, here as you can see, ana, which is the nominative case, has changed to nей. So, again the same logic will apply here. If you are using the personal pronoun with a preposition, which is sir here, then we have to add an additional consonant n in the beginning. Otherwise, without preposition, when we use the personal pronoun in the instrumental case, the form will be ye. And the last, which is third person plural number ani. How will you use ani in the instrumental case? Это наши преподаватели. So, these are our teachers. Гости из России хотят видеться с ними. Гости из России, the guests from Russia want to meet them, or they want to see them. So, here ani, which stands for преподаватели, has changed to snimi. Snimi. So, again we are using an additional consonant n. Why? Because it is being used with a preposition sir. The next topic for today we have is the declension of singular adjectives in the instrumental case. How do we decline the singular adjectives in the instrumental case, or the adjectives which modify the singular nouns? So, let us start with the masculine adjectives, or the adjectives which modify the singular masculine nouns. Skakim studiantam razgavarivet prapadavachal. So, here the interrogative word which requires the adjective in the instrumental case is kakim. So, kakoi changes to kakim in the instrumental case. Skakim studiantam razgavarivet prapadavachal. So, with which student the teacher is talking to, or with which student teacher is talking to which student, whatever. So, how do we answer this question? You have to use adjective in the instrumental case. Prapadavachal razgavarivayat snovim studiantam. So, the teacher is talking to a new student. So, here novi, which is the nominative case, has changed to novim. So, what we have done? We have replaced the ending which is I and I kratke with I and ma. So, novi has changed to novim. Snovim studiantam. Similarly, had it been maladoi, maladoi means young. So, how do we change maladoi in the instrumental case? Maladoi changes to maladim, as novi has changed to novim. So, maladoi maladim, smaladim studiantam. So, the teacher is talking to a young student. So, this is how we change the adjectives with I kratke ending and o kratke ending. Let us move on to the adjectives with another ending. Skakim bratam on sigda savietuetsa. Skakim bratam on sigda savietuetsa. So, with which brother he always takes advice from. If you have to use the adjective starshi, which means elder, how will you use that? On sigda savietuetsa, he always takes advice from sastarshim bratam. So, starshi has become starshim. So, what we have done is, we have replaced the ending which is I and I kratke here with I and ma. So, starshi, starshim bratam, sastarshim bratam. So, he always takes advice from his elder brother. So, when you come across any adjective with sh, I and I kratke, how will you change that adjective in the instrumental case? We will use I and ma. The next example is kakim karandashom vipishiche. So, here as we can see, we have used the instrumental case without the preposition, which means that it denotes, karandashom denotes the instrument of action. So, kakim karandashom vipishiche. So, which pen do you use while writing, or which pen are you writing with? So, how will you answer this question? Again we have to use an adjective in the instrumental case. Here I have given an option sini, sini is blue. So, I am writing with a blue pen. How will you say that in Russian? Ya pishu sinim karandashom. Ya pishu sinim karandashom. I am writing blue pencil. We are using karandashom. So, I am writing with a blue pencil. Sini has become sinim. So, what we have done is, we have replaced the ending which is I and I kratke with I and ma. So, sini, sinim, starshi, starshim, novi, novim, maladoi, maladim. So, these are the endings how we decline an adjective in the instrumental case. So, there are two endings basically, I, ma and I, ma. So, im or im. So, this is how we decline the singular adjectives in masculine gender. So, now we will look at how do we decline the adjectives in a feminine or with a feminine gender nouns. So, let us now discuss the declension of singular adjectives which modify the feminine nouns. So, how do the feminine adjectives decline in the instrumental case? So, let us start. So, first I must tell you that kakoi, which is the nominative case masculine, becomes kakaya in the nominative case, and kakaya changes to kakoi in the instrumental case. So, kakaya, kakoi. That is why we have written the question here, skakoi jevushkai razgavarivet vrach. Skakoi jevushkai, with which girl, or which girl the doctor is talking to. Razgavarivet vrach. So, which girl the doctor is talking to. So, how will you answer? If the question contains the word kakoi, you have to use an adjective to answer the question. So, here I have written an adjective balnaya in the nominative case. Balnaya is a sick or ill. So, how will you use balnaya in the instrumental case after the preposition s? Vrach razgavarivet sbalnoi jevushkai. Vrach razgavarivet sbalnoi jevushkai. The doctor is talking to a sick girl or an ill girl. So, balnaya changes to balnoi. So, aya, which is the ending in the nominative, has been replaced with o and e kratke in the instrumental case. So, whenever we come across an adjective with aya ending in the nominative, we will change that ending into o and e kratke. Sbalnoi jevushkai. The next is skakoi sistroi ana khajilaf park. Which sister did she go to park with? So, here again the question is kakoi, and I have written as answer we have to use the adjective mlashaya. Mlashaya, as you already know, that it has a mixed ending, which means the stem ends with either che, she, je or she. So, if the stem ends with che, she or je, then we have to follow a different set of declension rules. So, here instead of using o and e kratke, we will be using ye and e kratke. So, basically we are replacing the ending which is a and ya with ye and e kratke. Ana khajilaf park smlashe sistroi. So, here we are using mlashaya in the instrumental case, and how have we changed mlashaya into instrumental case? We have replaced the ending with ye and e kratke. Smlashe sistroi. The next is an adjective with a soft ending, ya and ya. Senia. Senia is blue. So, how do you change senia in the instrumental case? So, let us look at the question and then we will try to answer the question with using the adjective senia in the instrumental case. Kakoi ruchkai ana pishit. Kakoi ruchkai. What pen she is writing with? So, here as you can see, kakoi ruchkai has been used without a preposition, which means it will denote the instrument of action. Kakoi ruchkai ana pishit. So, which pen she is writing with? How will you answer this question? Using the adjective senia. Ana pishit sine ruchkai. Ana pishit sine ruchkai. She is writing with a blue pen. So, how many endings of adjectives have we come across in the instrumental case? As far as the feminine adjectives are concerned, there are two endings, o e kratke and ye and e kratke. So, if the adjective is hard ending adjective, we use o e kratke. If the ending is soft ending, then we use ye and e kratke. If the ending is mixed ending, then again we will use ye and e kratke. So, this is about singular feminine adjectives. As far as neuter gender adjectives are concerned, they decline in the same way as masculine gender adjectives. That is, we will use either How many endings we have done with the masculine adjectives? Im or im. So, this is all about the declension of singular adjectives in the instrumental case. So, now we will move on to the next topic. We will now discuss the nouns with the suffixes yenie, ost, eek or east. So, these are the suffixes with which we form a noun. So, let us start with these two suffixes first, ost and yenie. First, we will start with the suffix ost. Let me first tell you that the nouns with the suffixes ost and yenie are abstract nouns, and the nouns with the suffixes ost are generally derived from the adjectives. For example, rat. Rat, we have already discussed about this adjective, that it does not have a full form. So, it always have a short form which is rat. Rat is happy. From rat we derive the noun radast, and as you can see, what we have done is we have added the suffix ost, o, se, te and soft sign, radast, happiness. Uni. Uni is an adjective which means adolescent, and from this adjective what noun do we derive? We derive the noun eunast. Again we are adding the suffix ost. Eunus is adolescence. The next adjective we have is novi. Novi is new. From novi we derive the abstract noun novust. Novust is news. Again we are adding the suffix ost. The next adjective we have is maladoi. What is maladoi? Maladoi is young. And how do we derive a noun from maladoi? We are adding a suffix ost. Moladast. Moladast is youthfulness. So, maladoi, moladast, uni, eunast, rat, radast and novi, novus. So, this is about the nouns with the suffix ost, and they are abstract nouns and derived from the adjectives. Now comes the nouns with the suffix yenie. Nouns with the suffix yenie, they are generally derived with the infinitive form of the verbs. For example, vaspitach. Vaspitach is to educate, and from vaspitach we derive the noun vaspitanie. So, we are adding the suffix anie. Vaspitanie. Vaspitanie is education. Vistupach. Vistupach is to perform. From vistupach we derive the noun vistuplenie. Vistuplenie, what does it mean? It means performance. Vistupach, vistuplenie. So, we are adding the suffix yenie here to get the noun. The next infinitive form of the verb is pech. What does pech mean? Pech means to sing. And what noun will we derive from this infinitive form? Pienie. Pienie is singing. So, this is again an abstract noun. Znach. Znach is some of the verbs that we studied in the very beginning. Znach is to know. From znach we derive the abstract noun znanie. Znanie is knowledge. So, we are adding anie here to get the abstract noun from the infinitive form znach. The next verb we have is chitach. Chitach is to read, and from chitach we derive the noun chichenie. Chichenie is reading or act of reading. So, this is about the abstract nouns with the suffixes ost and yenie. Now, let us come to the nouns with the suffixes eek or east. So, let me first tell you that the nouns with the suffixes eek and east, they generally denote either profession or people from a specific ideology. For example, with the suffix eek we have a few nouns like physic. Physic, what does physic mean? Someone who knows physics or physics expert or physicist. Historic, as the name suggests, somebody who is an expert of history. Historic. And the nouns with the suffix "ist" are economist, economist, communist, a communist, socialist, a socialist, specialist. As you can see, economist, communist, socialist, they denote a person with a specific ideology or a profession. So, these were some of the nouns with the suffixes "ost", "jenie", "ik" and "ist". The nouns with suffixes "ost" and "jenie" are abstract nouns, and nouns with suffixes "ik" and "ist", they denote either profession or specific and the person belonging to a specific ideology. Now, I will read out a text in which some words have been used in the instrumental case. Please pay attention to the words and listen to the text carefully. The text is called Moskva и Петербург, Moskva and Petersburg. As you already know, these are two important cities. Moscow is the capital and Petersburg is one of the most developed cities of Russia. So, let us start the text. В 18 и 19 веке Петербург был столицей России. Был столицей. As you can see, stolitsa has been used in the instrumental case. So, in the 18th and 19th century, Petersburg was the capital of Russia. Но россияне хорошо помнили, что старая столица политический и культурный центр Москва. But Russians very well remembered that the old capital, the political and cultural center, Moscow. Москву любили, and they loved Moscow. Говорили, что Петербург – голова, Москва – сердце России. And it was said that Petersburg was head and Moscow was the heart of Russia. В 1918 году Москва снова стала столицей. In the year 1918, Moscow again became the capital of Russia. Stala stolitsei. As you can see, after stach, we are again using the instrumental case. So, stolitsa, stolitsei. Сейчас Москва огромный город. Now, Moscow is a great or very big city. Политический, экономический и культурный центр. Political, economic and cultural center. А Петербург стал символом русской культуры 18-19 веков. And Petersburg became the symbol of Russian culture of 18th and 19th centuries. Россияне любят Петербург and Russians love Petersburg. Петербург – город музей and Petersburg is a city of museums. Город прекрасный и романтический. It's a very beautiful city and it's a romantic city. Северная Venetia. It's called the northern Venice. So, this was a text, it's a very small text, and what did we learn? We learned that after the words or after the verbs быть and stach, we use the instrumental case form. So, with this we conclude this chapter, this lesson. We will meet in the next lesson. Till then, spasiba, до свидания.